What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Game Show Global Esports Cup. I'm Mikelorus, going to be joined by Lyrical Gangster for the second game between FDG, Fast and ESB. FDG currently holding a one-game lead, and it looks like Leshrac will be banned out this time. Last game was pretty decisive, dude. I'm sure ESB are going to keep their eyes open for that Leshrac now, or for the Huskar now, rather.
Yeah, don't want to have to face him either. Both of those heroes, very, very difficult to deal with. One of them, if you don't know he's coming, and the other, very difficult to deal with, even if you know he's coming. Kind of a bit of a crazy one that happened last time. I will say that I think we probably spent more time in the draft than we did in the game almost. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it was pretty close. When with the Lina pickup this time around, looking to mix things up a little bit for ESB.
Got Shaker Shadow Fiend as the opening for the Fast side. So this is a pretty solid mid lane setup. If you can get Earthshaker, if he's not banned out, you're probably going to be okay picking him up. And together with the Shadow Fiend, there is significant follow-up here. Lina is, not really a super resistant hero to being fissured. Even if it's not going to wall off, raise, and Lina's going to take a hell of a lot of damage. ESB's last game, their lanes were on the weaker side, but now grabbing a Darkseer, ESB's lanes are going to be a lot more secure. Darkseer definitely a safer laner than the Wind Ranger in the off lane, and Lina mid is rarely going to go wrong, even though last time versus last time their mid lane was kind of rough.
Yeah, it was. It was against that Lesh and getting completely owned. And I think that probably that early team fight that happened up near the top rune was the biggest decider of what ended up happening in that game. Because as you were talking about, Lesh was able to get that bottle so quickly. Such a difficult setup. Now, I'm wondering with the Earthshaker Shadow Fiend combo here and Queen of Pain still in the pool, if ESB might opt to go for her instead and leave the Lina as a support, because you mentioned it, the Earthshaker fissure into a double raise can definitely kill, and it can do the same thing for Quap, but the big difference that you end up having is that for Lina, you might take one or two extra right clicks at the end of the fissure and the double raise, whereas with Quap, you can blink away and sometimes be able to actually escape. So, I'll see. It's an opportunity at least.
Huskar ban. Not surprised at all, by the way, with this one. Even if ESB were to get like the most anti-Huskar lineup, it's still so effective in the last game that I think this is justified. Bloodseeker, in the meantime, being banned out by FDG. For the ESB side, they have in their lanes, at least it seems like the cores in their lanes, coming up with heroes like Winter Wyvern support still in the pool. Well, now Disruptor is out. Obviously, a great pick versus the Darkseer. I would expect those two to be picked up. Maybe even a Rubik against a Shaker and with a Lina on the ESB side.
Yeah, I think that ESB already, as much as they were behind in the other draft, I think that they're actually a little bit behind here as well. You got Earthshaker Shadow Fiend, which kind of beats Lina, I feel like. Then on top of that, Disruptor, if he teams up with somebody else, can pretty much mess up the Darkseer as well. So we'll see how this goes, but already I'm a little bit concerned for ESB. That being said, they do still have another pick advantage over FDG in terms of being able to answer these problems that they're being faced with. Rubik is going to be the pickup there by ESB, certainly a popular one and a really good answer to the Earthshaker, and being able to even steal Disruptor spells pretty solid as well. We'll see what the FDG ends up going for. I feel like here at this point, they need... I might wait and try and save your offlane for a last pick and go instead for that safe lane carry to deal with the Darkseer.
Phantom Lancer, Anti-Mage, both looking pretty good here for FDG. Maybe Anti-Mage slightly above, but if Lina gets that Aghanim Scepter, Anti-Mage is not going to have a great time versus that. But, they have proper support. Enough support, they should have it at least for the safe lane, no matter who it is. They also can just shove the Earthshaker to that off lane role, so and then make their adaptation, and that looks like is going to happen. CM now the pick. The Frostbite is pretty good up against the Darkseer if it is going to be that setup, but I don't know. It's CM right now seems like a perfectly mediocre pick.
Yeah, the bonus that you get out of it, obviously, is that you get a quick level 2. Maybe you opt to gank mid and pick up a level 2 in Crystal Nova, but more likely just going to be sitting on over there with the Arcane Aura at level 2 and being able to give that extra mana to Earthshaker to toss on off those fissures. We do see the Clockwork picked up as well, so I guess this might actually end up being a Clockwork in the safe lane up against the Earthshaker. That's kind of an interesting little solution there, and then Darkseer probably going to be in the offlane, I'd imagine, although they can probably switch that up to either hero that they might want, depending upon who FDG ends up putting in the safe lane.
We really don't see Clockwork Darkseer together that often. with a Shadow Fiend in the mid lane, sometimes Darkseer, sometimes Clockwork will be willing to go into that mid lane, but not if it's a Shadow Fiend. Sometimes if it's a DK, something like that, or a Magnus. But yeah, it's a little bit rough to make this call. I mean, this is going to make it so that the FDG side are going to be up against very resilient heroes in the lane. Darkseer, Clockwork, very difficult to actually deal with. But with Disruptor, CM, and Shaker, they have control enough. As long as they grab any sort of okay damage dealer for their last pick, then they should be good to go. These lanes are going to be very strange here for ESB. Dual lanes, probably the most viable, but even then, doesn't seem like that's really going to go off. I don't know how this Clockwork Darkseer are going to work out.
I don't know, because that's the other thing I was just thinking about now. I think they almost have to run Clockwork mid, because otherwise you're taking away the EXP from one of these two heroes that desperately needs it. So unless they end up running like a tri-lane mid, that's the only other thing that I can think of here. Or maybe a jungle. They go for a Weaver ban out. They do still need to deal with the safe lane hero. But yeah, it's going to be very, very bizarre. I think that based upon it, the way this is looking, probably dual lanes, or you could just sacrifice the farm of one of them, maybe throw the Darkseer in the jungle. That's an option. Sometimes you see that, but it would definitely be very strange. I like the Crystal Maiden pickup because it's going to mean that the offlane Earthshaker is going to be able to toss on out those fissures and enchant totems a little bit more often. And Slardar, the last pickup.
All right, not really what I was expecting with Phantom Lancer and Anti-Mage still in the pool. And if you look at the bans, that's also not what I was expecting. Weaver up against Alina, not good times there. And Rubik for some control. Spectre also being banned out. I don't know, but Wraith King has the last pick now for ESB. They have now 3 melee heroes. FDG are pretty well equipped to deal with this Wraith King, actually. Like, the amount of sustained damage they have, should the Slardar survive the initial barrage, is extremely high. And with Mowgli grabbing a Clockwork, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a support clock. Let's actually just wait until we get into the game and settle any swaps before we look into that. But Wraith King last pick, I'm always kind of underwhelmed at core Wraith Kings. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah, I think that it can work, but depending upon how he sort of skills up all of his stuff, it does look like that is going to be what it is, a core Wraith King. I think that sort of sums it up for me, at least. We can do a quick little introduction for all of these players here. We got Droid. He's going to be playing that Earthshaker over in the offlane for FDG. Meanwhile, Crystal Maiden is going to be played by Lady Luck over here towards the mid lane. Yet again, we've got Turson who's going to be playing at the Shadow Fiend. Zara is going to be on your Slardar. And last but not least, we got Lodine is going to be playing at that Disruptor.
How about that Slardar weapon, though? That thing looks freaking savage.
That's
over
awesome.
on the ESB side, Clockwork is going to be played by Mowgli, as I said before. Fake God is on the Darkseer, then up towards the top area. Colt Siemens, he was playing the support before. He's playing the Wraith King. Fozzie is on the Rubik. He was in mid, and then we have the Lina as well. We're seeing a couple of position swaps here from ESB. Right now, Darkseer and Clockwork, they have both of them have offlane builds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. It looks like they're going to try and contest this a little bit. The problem that you're going to face with this potentially is that you don't necessarily... Oh, they did end up spotting Fake God there as well, I believe. Ion Shell on top of 2 of them. This is going to be a ton of damage. Ends up catching Zara in there with double Ion Shell. Is it going to be enough? I don't think they're going to be able to kill.
I timed out. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I can keep talking here for a little while, and we'll see what's going on with Dota 2 Reborn. Maybe some patches coming soon. But Fake God and Clockwork, the thing that I'm going to see having a potential problem here in this lane is that you do end up having both heroes that are really strong in lane, but the reason they're very strong in lane is because they can stay alive and get those levels that make them strong in lane. And I don't know if they're going to be able to get that with 2 heroes in here. It's going to be very difficult for them to really make a huge impact as you move towards the sort of mid-game. So if ESB doesn't play their card rights, they're definitely going to end up having a very difficult time doing anything.
And up towards top lane, Rubik and Wraith King is strong, but not decisively strong versus an Earthshaker. He will still be able to get his experience. With double Ion Shell going on to loading, yeah, the upside of this lane is certainly here. They really do need boots or Surge or level 6 on the Clockwork if they're going to be successful here. And Zara, he's not exactly the best hero to have versus Ion Shells, so this is a very, very clunky way of laning, but seems like it's actually going to work out decently for the Dire side, as ESB just, have better heroes right now than the FDG side have. And of course, you have the last lane over towards mid. Shadow Fiend going to take another Dragon Slave to the Dome. He is going to be fine, and honestly doesn't have to worry about that much other than just Alina. The odds of these heroes rotating out towards mid, very small.
Yeah, absolutely. And as long as he plays his cards right, he should be perfectly fine. I don't really expect there to be a kill in this lane. I wouldn't imagine, although I've been known to be wrong before, and certainly you can get aggressive with Alina if things end up going your way. It does look like we're going to be seeing the CM staying out in the jungle there, making sure that she's able to get that level 2 very nicely. Is going to run into the Clockwork over here, but she's just going to be able to frostbite him away, and he's not going to get this rune. DD up. There's an option there where they might have been able to charge on in, but I think probably a little bit too far away for there to be really anything there. Breaking the clarity of Fake God as well. Disruptor is just going to continue to be a little bit of a pain in here. But the dual melee against what can eventually be a tri-lane with 2 ranges and some nukes. I don't know.
Those 2 range heroes are kind of on the slower side, especially Crystal Maiden, 280 movement speed. May struggle to get away from the cog setup, especially since Surge is now up. And the Disruptor and Slaughter can help a little bit, but definitely not enough. Right now, the Dire are holding onto a slight CS lead, especially up towards top, whereas the Slaughter in the bottom lane has to deal with this initiation. He's going to get the crush up. There's the tentacles, and Mowgli is not going to get the cogs up. The Slaughter is not lasting nearly as comfortably as Cold Siemens. Dire with a slight CS lead, but I feel like with this setup, they really need a lot of CS lead if they're going to go into the mid game at a decent rate.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really concerned. The other thing to keep in mind here as well is that Shadow Fiend is getting these camps stacked on up by the CM. We also see the hard camp being stacked for the Dire by the Rubik. So both of these mid heroes can definitely take stacks, but we're going to be able to be more aware of it with the Earthshaker over here. So at some point in time, once Earthshaker gets 6, if he wanted to, he could just walk over there and Echo Slam it. We'll see if that's what he indeed goes for, or potentially try and smoke up with Shadow Fiend and take the stack also. It is going to be Clockwork finding the CM over in the jungle here. Might be able to make something happen, but she is just going to be content to continue to last hit away like a champion, laying on out these frostbites and getting as much CS as she can for herself.
Mowgli may steal some experience here, but killing off the Crystal Maiden, though possible, is going to mean that he's also going to have to face up the Shadow Fiend. He's only working with level 1 Battery Assault right now, and though the Crystal Maiden doesn't really have any escape plan, she has Shadow Fiend right behind her, so she's not really in that much trouble. Fake God is, I guess, going to benefit from this, since still he's on the bottom lane. Yeah, not up against the most fun of heroes, but still it's pretty good for Darkseer, all things considered. Slardar, he's working with level 4 right now, and Lowdown's completely tapped out of mana. Mowgli's going to come with the Haste Rune. That's not what Lowdown wants to see right now. Battery's all prepped and ready. He's going to unleash it with the Cogs, not going to trap, in fact going to bump the Disruptor back. He'll lose a little bit of mana, yes, but he really wanted that trap in with double Ion Shell potentially. That might have been First Blood.
Yeah, that was really close there. A little bit unfortunately he wasn't able to catch there. I think he might have right-clicked the Disruptor once, but with not enough mana, the Disruptor was definitely going to, well, not definitely, but was probably going to die there had he not been able to catch him in the cogs. Once again, though, we're seeing this very odd situation where these off-lane heroes, neither of them are sitting in lane now, and now the Shadow Fiend, after moving on over and getting ready to take a stack, is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Look at the dive here. We've got Fozzie coming down as well. They're all going to find the CM over here, and I don't know if they're really going to be able to catch her. Maybe? There's the Courier as well. Ends up hitting again with the cogs, pushing away the CM, and she's going to be perfectly fine. Mowgli's about to go down here as well. Might end up being able to catch Vision with the Courier one time. Don't want to feed it away, obviously. Lifting on up as well by the Shadow Fiend, and First Blood getting called. Wow.
Courier with the assist also. Glimpse back onto Lodine. Shadow Fiend's waiting for Fozzie. One raise, couple more right clicks. That's a double with the First Blood. Now they're onto Fake God. They don't have enough to kill off this Darkseer, but that was an extremely aggressive move from the Dire. Going that deep, you know that whoever you find there, I mean, it doesn't really matter who, you're also going to have to deal with the Shadow Fiend. Now he's going to clear out the stack. That's what the Dire wanted. That's what ESB were gunning towards. With the Ion Shell, they probably could have ground it down slowly but surely, but Shadow Fiend just swoops right in, clears it all up. 2 kills, a whole lot of CS, and now suddenly he has 1,000 gold.
Yeah, he is exactly where he wants to be right now. Pretty much able to do whatever, and he's going to be going for what looks to be that Aquila relatively soon. And at this point in time, like, Look at what Clockwork's level 3. They're trying to chase down Lodi here, but they just don't have enough. Now we're going to see Zara come on over, make sure that they don't end up getting caught to the side. Is going to try and run away. Sprint versus Surge. Surge a little bit better, but Zara able to make use of that positioning and is going to be perfectly fine. And he's been able to catch up on CS, honestly. You take a look, 28-11, not great, but pretty good considering where he was to start a little while ago.
They're putting a lot of their eggs in this Wraith King basket. Up towards top, he's doing very well, but Wraith King is just a hero that needs so much more than what he's getting right now. It looks like he's going to go Blade Mail first. Rather I'd like to see him rush a Midas. Over towards bottom lane, Mowgli is struggling to land these cogs. We get pulled right back onto the wrong side of the cogs. Now here comes Crystal Maiden with no mana. That's not going to do much with the crush. Maybe they're going to get this kill regardless. Field goes up and Mowgli cannot leave that way. Has to turn the other direction, but he's going to get beaten down as he tries to run. Clockwork down. Great field up from Lowdown right there. And CM also getting some experience, although not really contributing that much. Now has mana to help. Looks like she's not going to have a chance to. Here comes Lina. She has her Laguna Blade up. She's been getting some serious experience in the meantime, but whoa, okay. That's not going to help out that well. That's not good.
Huh. All right, well, that's
sure.
It's a little bit frustrating. You do end up seeing 3 heroes sort of disappear relatively quickly, and not necessarily the best. We'll see how this ends up going. I kind of thought that Lina was going to be able to find Crystal Maiden over there to the side, but Crystal Maiden wisely was going to run off over into the trees, hide in there, with this very nice vision that they had from the Observer Ward right over here. So, as it's looking right now, FDG is pretty far ahead at this point, about 1,500 gold as well as an EXP lead of 2,500 roughly. They've been able to get everything that they've wanted, all 3 kills. The dual offlane, not really where they need to be either, because you take a look at those hero levels. Clockwork is the lowest EXP in the game right now. Darkseer tied with the CM. It hasn't been a really successful dual offlane.
Mostly because I want to say he's just been missing these cogs. He's put him up like 3 or 4 times, I mean, offensively, but he's actually trapped 0 heroes with it. With the battery cell level 2 and an ion shell, you can kill off very quickly, like the Disruptor and the CM and Shaker. He's not really having to deal with that right now, but those are all viable kills if the cogs actually land. They haven't been landing, and as these levels come up, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to actually make that trap happen. As Disruptor gets more glimpse, he could save his buddies. CM is just getting, well, she's always going to be a viable target, let's be honest, but Slardar is going to be a significant threat that if you take too long, then Slardar is just going to punish you afterwards. So I want to say the real opening here for this Clockwork Darkseer shenanigans is like the first 10 minutes in the game, and we're at 7 minutes, so yeah, maybe it's eventually going to work out still, but the Clockwork is not going to get anything right now. Cogs are still valuable no matter what happens in the game, but you really want your Clockwork to have a little bit more than just 1 point in cogs.
Yeah, absolutely. It really hasn't been going that well, and I think honestly at this point in time with a level 6 Slardar, even if Clockwork ends up cogsing him at this point in time, you amplify damage, you Slither and Crush, you start right-clicking, you got 2 other supports here as well that are going to be able to right-click him down pretty well, and while they don't have the highest damage in the world, when you end up having a -10 armor reduction on top of everything else that's going on, plus a nuke in the form of Thunderstrike, as well as Frostbite, they're going to really fall quickly. So I'm really concerned about their viability in terms of making anything happen as you keep moving forward. And one of the best pieces of Clockwork's arsenal is his hookshot, which isn't going to be up either.
And then, of course, we have the hero on the top lane, Droid, who we kind of glanced over. He's doing just fine, not dying. That's always a good thing for the Earthshaker. He is level 6 right now. He has just as much experience as Cold Siemens. In fact, he has a little bit more than that, in fact. And he's going to go for a very smashy Earthshaker build right now. Echo Slam is up with 2 points Aftershock, 2 points Enchant Totem. He's not going to have an incredibly fast Blink Dagger or anything like that, but this dual lane up towards top of Rubik and Wraith King, not able to effectively keep this Earthshaker out of the lane. He is going to be getting his experience, and really for an offlane Shaker, that's all you want. And of course over towards mid lane as well, Turson is just beating down on that tower. Buckler is already up on him, and I mean, Lina can still burst them down, but it just feels like the Dire heroes are not in the right place at the right time. Like this bottom lane, they're trying to contest the Slardar, but they're not contesting it enough, and the other lanes are suffering because they're investing 2 heroes down here that aren't really doing that much.
You know, I'm curious in the next couple of minutes here if Droid is going to try and push on out this top lane a little bit and then just walk on over to that creep camp and echo slam it. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. He knows that the stack is there because he ended up doing a side pull earlier. I think that it would be a completely and totally valuable solution. He would get level 7 off of it easily, and then probably some more as well. So looks like they might be able to make something happen on Fate God here. Oh god, this is going to end up being a catch here. Slither and Crush, that goes down. Fate God destroyed. Crystal Maiden getting that last hit there. Really, really effectively done. And now that we end up getting a little bit of extra pressure off of this bot lane here, I think that they can roam around and start making stuff happen, maybe even up in the top lane.
They're a little bit low on mana right now, especially this Disruptor, but certainly leaving that bottom lane to the Slardar is viable at this stage. He is going to have a Vanguard soon, it seems. With Slardar, usually you want to get upgraded boots, Blink Dagger. Vanguard sometimes is the right choice. I don't think it's the right choice in this game. There's pretty much no right-click damage coming out of the Dire, but hey, you know what? Lets him dive creeps and whatnot. They are going to run into Lady Luck right now, at least Mowgli will, but it's a bait because CM has Shadow Fiend right around the corner. Oof, she is a little bit too slow to turn around though, and Clockwork is probably going to slip away. Glimpse level is only 2. Mowgli's going to be A-okay.
Although he does walk back through the river here. This is a little bit scary. They're kind of surrounded on both sides. We are going to see Fake God over here as well. Another Amplify damage up. We have Crush if is available if they want to go for it. But with the 2 Ion Shell creeps, they're not going to be doing that. Doesn't want to necessarily take all of that magical damage that you get from those. And I'm curious what his next item is going to be. I feel like with the Vanguard there, ooh, maybe a little bit more of an initiation here. Mowgli ends up getting glimpsed back while the Frostbite is going down. Kinetic Field there as well. There is, ends up getting interrupted. The Bash is going to keep doing damage, and Mowgli's going to go down like we were talking about so freaking much. Rubik is here, but what are you going to do? Honestly, not a whole lot. Lodine getting chased down again. Needs to be a little bit careful and not overextend. And it looks like they're going to be fine. Reinitiating again. Fake God ends up going down. Zara so strong on this. Oh my god, first hit bash as well on the Slardar. That's going to end up being it. Crystal Maiden takes on down that Rubik.
7-0. At this point, I'm pretty sure ESB are just feeling bad. The amplified damage with Crush, man, that does so much freaking damage. Like, even to the Darkseer, who has 7 base, which is a lot for 9 minutes in the game, is getting torn apart by the Slardar's damage output. And I did not expect that they would get those last 2 kills, but the Frostbite from long range, the field in the perfect position, and Zara just always sticking to them. Screw the Vanguard. If you find yourself with 2k gold, you might as well just complete up that Blink Dagger and keep up the pressure. 7-0 right now. Mowgli's going to catch Droid up towards top, or at least see him, but not fast enough to put up the cogs. Now Droid, turn around with Enchant Totem. Doesn't have enough mana for an Echo Slam, however. Now here comes Cold Siemens. Is going to throw the Wraithfire Blast, but has to dig through his friendly cogs. Another Enchant Totem, not going to happen just yet because the Battery Assault. Echo Slam, though, will kill out the Clockwork and pop the Reincarnation of Cold Siemens, preventing him from chasing forward anymore. Wraithfire Blast still stolen, and it will be finished off with the Fade Bolt from the Rubik. Now they're on to Lodine, and well, Lena's there to cut him off. Laguna Blade available, not needed. Cold Siemens does get his dues up on top, so finally ESB gets some sort of action up towards top, but it's a Disruptor and it's an Earthshaker. These are expendable heroes, and it wasn't even for free.
That's their first 2 kills. They got him. Nicely done there.
Mid lane Requiem out of the Invis rune, and Tursin's gonna kill the Lena.
Well, those are their first 2 kills, punctuated by a Requiem of Souls on top of your mid lane. Lena, not necessarily what you want to have happen, but yeah, kind of rough. And this is probably, honestly, this could be the mid tower going down here. I don't know if they're going to be able to rotate quickly enough, and now we're going to see just continued farm in each of these other lanes here. I think he's just going to get a free tower.
There's 2 heroes on bottom, 2 heroes on top, no heroes in the mid lane. Shadow Fiend walks away from that one. 3 kills, has 100 CS at 10 CS a minute, which is absolutely disgusting. And now Frostbite on the bottom lane. Well, the Freezing Field will get canceled by the Vacuum. Good thing Fake God leveled up that one, but still CM feeling super confident on this bottom lane. Zara has 2,500 gold. There's no situation where you're Slardar and you want to be holding this much cash, so he should be spending it soon. Mowgli's going to approach, as is the Lena. LSA off the mark. Zara still might get Laguna Bladed right now. He's going to try for the Crush, which will slow down the Lena's advance. And now with the sprint, Zara's going to get cleanly away. And here comes Tursin, just working down Fake God's going to grab a double kill. Lena is going to get amplified, just 2 hits away from death. LSA is going to slow her down. She gets glimpsed right back into tower range. There's going to be a Laguna Blade on her sister. That's not going to get the kill. Triple kill for the Shadow Fiend. A bloodbath on the bottom lane, and Slardar does slip out of there alive now with his Blink Dagger purchased. This Shadow Fiend is so disgustingly farmed right now. Yasha, Mechanism, Power Treads, Aquila, 12 minutes.
8,300 gold. He just picked up a haste rune. Anybody that he sees on the map right now, he can kill pretty much. He doesn't have a ton of mana, but he might actually go back to base, save this, get up to full again, and then run on out. Looks like they want to try and catch the Wraith King. Do hit him there with the stun. Kinetic field down as well. There's the silence. He's not coming back. Reincarnation is down, and with one last hit of his enchanted totem, Earthshaker is going to take down that Wraith King. Really, really nicely done. We do have pressure down on the bot lane yet again. CM and Shadow Fiend hanging out as well. I don't know if they're going to be able to make a whole heck of a lot happen. Dragon Slave does connect onto the Earthshaker, and they're going to have to back on out now. Don't want to get caught him here, but diving over again, ended up getting interrupted by the battery assault. It's going to think the better of it now that he sees the Clockwork, but Clockwork's only level 4. Shadow Fiend is level 12. This is not what you want to be if you're a Clockwork.
If you're anyone, let's be honest. That was the pretty classic haste rune into melee raise over towards top lane. Lina is going to get blinked upon by Zara. Someone's teleporting in. That's Wraith King. Not a good idea, Cold Siemens. He has no ultimate, and Zara has crush, amplify damage. Looks like the Blade Mail. He had to sway the Slaughter from turning around for right now, but he still has the crush and the Blink Dagger. Here comes the Flare. 6 HP. Slaughter gets lived. Another Fissure. Here comes the Crystal Maiden with the Freezing Field. Gonna let it go, and looks like that was completely unnecessary because Droid is going to get the kill anyway. And still on bottom lane, vacuum back onto Turson. He's going to mech himself back up. Mowgli trying to get in there with the cogs is going to put him up, but again, does not connect properly. And the Shadow Fiend is going to swagger on out of there. 15-2, and ESB are just bleeding heroes left, right, and center. This is looking already really bad. Earthshaker is going to have his Blink Dagger kind of quickly.
Yeah, he has everything that he could want. Blink Dagger is going to be up in just a couple of seconds here. The tier 1 is still going to survive up top, but it does get denied down bottom. And I just don't know what this Clockwork has been so stunted in his growth. Ooh, might have had an opportunity to kill there, but the cogs are going to keep him alive this time around. We do also see the CM with the Glimmer Cape is going to be able to... I'll do it.
Yeah. Suddenly Slardar, suddenly Earthshaker. I gotta say, I freaking love this new animation of Slytherin's Crush with the weapon or whatever. It looks pretty darn sick, and it just eviscerates the Lina. I don't think that was even amplified, but amplified damage with Crush, we've already seen how much damage that does. With the Enchant Totem, like, that's just disgusting.
It's so much damage, honestly. I'm surprised they haven't come on over to take the stack. It looks like Shadow Fiend is going to be the one that does it, and no real surprise there, I guess. Fissure laid down as well, and they're just going to share in the wealth of the Dire team, while the Dire team cries themselves to sleep a little bit. Maybe Fozzie is going to be able to work together. Like, they need to sort of group up and make a kill happen, but at the same time, Mowgli still doesn't have 6, so... I don't even know. Maybe they can't even sort of group up and push together, because when you've got the Mechanism up on the Shadow Fiend, Sanj and Yasha, all of these pretty decent teamfight ultis, you know, Crystal Maiden as well, they're all up. It's just so hard to fight against.
Uh-oh, and Cold Siemens spotted out by Lodin, I think. He's going to try to dig himself through the trees. Looks like he's going to get to a pretty good escape path, but they actually do catch Fozzie. Jump forward, double blinkers, big enchant totem hit. That's one down. Lodin is going to get hit with the LSA, but the Freezing Field, Crystal Maiden is going to let it go all over Cold Siemens. He's going to pop his Reincarnation. Stat Storm in the meantime, catching on to 2. The same 2, hit with the Crush and the Echo Slam. That's 3 down immediately. Cold Siemens taking a giant chunk of damage from that enchant totem, making it a 4-0 exchange. FDG barely lost any HP in that. Like, there's just not enough damage coming out of the Dire.
Yeah, no HP gone. That's not necessarily what you want to have to see. And honestly, from the beginning, where was the damage going to come? Like, you have Lina who can do single target damage. You got Clockwork who can do single target damage. I think that pretty much what they were hoping was this Wraith King to get ahead, be able to sort of fight and tank up a lot of spells, but there just isn't anything here really at all. And it's I don't know. It's really difficult for them to be able to respond to this 5-man now. They don't have any recourse at all.
They do take a tower on the bottom lane. Fake God gets something, and he's going to have his mech, well, not that soon, but eventually it's going to be up. They see Cold Siemens over in the mid lane. They smoked up, and he's going to be on the receiving end. The double blinkers again, the minus armor, and then the beatdown. Zara's going to grab a mega kill spree off of that one, and they're just going to keep sliding down. They have amplified damage level 2. They don't have a medallion, which would be a pretty sick pickup for them in this game, but I don't think they need any of that. They're just going to slide her into the Roche pit. No minus armor just yet. There it is. So minus 16 with Presence of the Dark Lord, only level 3 at this stage. Yeah, Roche isn't going to last long at all. and Clockwork doesn't even have the option of trying to steal it because, again, he just doesn't have hookshot levels. Now double life on Zara. He can just suicide in every single time. At this point, if you're Slardar, you can actually get any item you want.
Yeah, I don't think he really cares at all. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Deso. I wouldn't be surprised to see a BKB either if they just want to secure the win for sure. I think that's probably the best option now that he already has Blink. But like you said, it really doesn't matter at this point. I think that we're seeing here why you don't often see a Clockwork Darkseer. Oh my goodness. I don't even know if... Was that even worth the cost of the ulti?
No. He's up in just 15 seconds again. The recap is glitched as all hell, but he got amplified and then the enchant totem landed. So yeah, that kind of hurts. They're going to actually teleport back to CM, which is kind of surprising. You would think they would just let them have the tier 1 since they're going to take Rax's FDG. Glimpse back onto the Rubik. He's not going to leave top, and CM versus 2. Freezing Field. Vacuum's going to interrupt it. Now CM's in a really bad spot. Sentry gets dropped, and no CM. You feeder. Freezing Field stolen by Fozzie, interrupted by the Frostbite. But this is just distraction because the real thing is happening over in mid lane because the tier 3 is down. TP coming in from the Darkseer. Cancel it. Hookshot back in. Not bad, but the Echo Slam is there. Even better. Mowgli's going to get eviscerated. Colt Siemens, one hit away from death. He has no reincarnation. Aegis pop on the Slardar. Will respawn with the Blink Dagger at the ready. He's not even going to go for the Lina. A little bit of mercy coming out of Zara. But if Lina gets too close, I'm pretty sure he's going to make that jump in. Melee Rax to fall very, very quickly. There's the fissure. No blink in still. Slardar playing it kind of with the disciplined nature. Is just going to go for the Raxes 18 minutes in. That's fine, I think. I'm pretty sure FDG are going to be happy with that.
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit, honestly. 24-3 is the current score. It's been a run through, honestly, this entire game. 14K on the Shadow Fiend currently. That's almost more than the next 3 heroes for ESB combined. Well, not quite, but it's getting up there, honestly. He stays here a little bit longer, and it's going to be those types of numbers. He has a Mechanism, he has Sanjin Yasha, Aquila, Treads, one of the Ultimate Orbs, probably going to be getting the second one and finishing off his Scotty here in just a second. Actually, he does have enough for the Scotty now, and it's being brought out to him. Scotty at 19 minutes. Are you kidding me?
If you just have Scotty in 19 minutes, like, you're feeling pretty good, right?
Yeah.
But add an SNY and a Mechanism and Power Treads and a Ring of Aquila, you're feeling excellent. He has so much net worth right now, and it's also like translating into his health pool. It's not just sheer glass cannon, so he is very durable and doing a lot of damage. Bottom lane, looks like we're going to have an attempted smoke up here from the Dire. They'll have their reincarnation from Wraith King very shortly, but it's still only level 1. He's going to run to Lodine, but that's not exactly what he wants to run into. Mowgli's going to jump into the CM, gets 4-staffed out. The Freezing Field immediately interrupted. Now the Static Storm is down. Not the best. Freezing Field now from the Crystal Maiden is getting interrupted by Fake God, but the wall goes down. Tirsen taking absolutely no damage. Going to just sit and pop the Requiem. Destroy Fake God's health pool. That's 2 down immediately. No damage being dealt to the Radiant whatsoever as Tirsen still has a lot of HP left. Zara's in the back line tearing heroes up, and Colt Siemens finally will get his reincarnation pop, but versus 5, good luck, man. He's going to get, well, pretty good angle with the Fisher helping him out, but not for long. TP out? Yeah, that's not going to happen, not in your wildest dreams. Mowgli's found himself a hidey hole, so he's not going to die. But again, they only did 1,000 damage to the Shadow Fiend, and that's still, like, him with more HP than most of his allies.
He is so absurdly tanky right now. I don't even know what to say anymore. It's just been a complete and total run through. Shadow Fiend's getting everything that he wants. Still does have that Mechanism up. Looks like Slardar as well is going to be picking on up a Talisman of Evasion. Does have that Medallion of Courage being brought out. So Solar Crest about to be finished. A little bit of taunting coming on out from Durston as well. And there's not a whole lot more to say about this game. Complete and total devastation.
This game seems over. Like, even just taking Rax's pre-20 minutes, most of the time is going to win you a game. Mowgli's going to jump into his Doom, gets Cogs up, finally works out for him, but he's now stuck with the Shadow Fiend. He'll get dropped, Fozzie will get crushed, and dropped soon after. Colt Siemens wants in. He should not want in. Fake God gets a really nice vacuum. No LSA follow-up there. Droid will fall. Finally a kill going towards the Dire, but instant buyback. Shaker wants back in. Fake God's going to get limped right back in. Colt Siemens, he can't get in either. Crystal Maiden has Freezing Field, is going to hold on to it. There are no more disables right now. Oh, cancels it though. Crystal Maiden, shame. Colt Siemens will get blinked upon by the Slardar, worked down by the Disruptor, who with so much minus armor for the amplified damage is still going to get that kill. Slardar Oh, there's no Laguna Blade here. He's going to walk away from the Lina, and here comes Durson. 3 shots to kill off the Lina. 2 shots, 3 shots to kill off Mowgli as well. Beyond Godlike, double kill, 34-4. This was an absolute raffle stomp.
Ridiculousness in every sense of the word, and absolutely wonderful as well. I love to see, it was just great teamwork, great rotations, great drafting, and all in all, a really great win there for our team, FDG.
Alright guys, so the triple header of FDG doesn't go great for them. They lose 2, they win 1 though, and that's really what counts. And they win the last one, which is like, hardest one to win because you're so tired. But ESB gonna still stay on the bottom right now. We are done for today. I'm Mikelorus. I've been joined by Lyrical Gangster. If you did enjoy the cast, be sure to come in tomorrow for even more games. We're going to be having a Walrus Punch triple header, which should be very interesting indeed. Follow us on Twitter at Mikelorus, at Lyrical Gangster with a 3 instead of an E. It's all on the screen right now. But we are done for today, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Later, guys.